Hello, welcome to Eco 701, the honors research module. This is a year module, and then for this module, it involves reading, uh, writing, and obviously you have to make an effort to learn the research process. Okay. Okay, so let's start with lecture 01, and then there are two sets of slides. There are three PDF readings, okay? So I will quickly go through the highlights of the slides, and then obviously you need to first go through the lecture speech notes. You must start out with the lecture speech notes before you watch this video, okay? Because I'm not going to go through every single slide in the videos, but I will capture the key highlights, okay? So this is the intro. Okay, the first set of PowerPoint slides. Okay, let me enlarge the screen. Okay, okay. Okay, friendly rules. Okay, self-explanatory. I really rely on self-discipline from your side. Okay. And then other friendly rules. Okay, remember from my side, I always encourage the students that being a good student is not enough. You need to possess certain soft skills to be a good human, and then you can survive in the labor market. So when you have time, please go through slide number 3. I think these are the really important good attributes as a human being that we should possess. Okay, and then the outline. Okay, the meaning of research. When you go through slides number 5, 6, 7, and 8, you will always spot the keywords knowledge or the word new. So in other words, research is always about creating new knowledge. Okay, so I'm not going to go through these 4 slides in details because you can see all these important keywords in red fonts. Okay. Okay. And then I want to quickly mention about this slide number 9. Maybe I must explain in more detail. Okay. What research is not. Research definitely is not only about data collection. Data collection is part of the research process, okay? And at honors level, you are not required to conduct field trip to collect data. Usually, you would use the data collected by someone else, such as the statistics, South Africa census data. So you would rather be expected to analyze data at honors level. But when you do your master's, PhD studies, you could be asked to collect data by interviewing people. Okay, so this is the difference between primary and secondary data. When you conduct a field trip, interview people, you are the one interviewing people, you collect the data, then we call it primary data. But if you use the data collected by someone else, such as StatSA, Reserve Bank data, then we call these data secondary data. But if I go back to this first bullet, research is not only a process about data collection. Data collection is part of the research process, but not the whole research process. And then similarly for the second bullet, presentation of organized data is part of the research process, but it is not the whole research process. So keep that in mind. And then the third one is quite interesting. Research is not about what the researcher wants the collected data to mean, okay? In other words, you have to first conduct empirical data analysis, assuming your honors research topic does require you to do some empirical data analysis. You need to first analyze the data to find out what the data actually means, and then you present the findings or the empirical findings. But more on that later. Okay. Keep in mind, not all the research topics involve empirical data analysis. Some topics could involve purely qualitative literature review, and there's no need to conduct any data analysis. So don't think you must always conduct data analysis to prove that you are a strong econometrician. Okay. Okay. And then research is not about the transfer of facts from one place to another. And then this example is self-explanatory. For instance, if males earn more on average in Western Cape, it does not mean males would also earn more in another province, such as Eastern Cape. You have to once again first analyze the data to find out the truth. Okay. Research is not about searching our previously published research results. It is actually called literature review, okay? And it does not represent the whole research process. However, it is part of the research process. So you can see the last part of the bullet. It is literature review is only an important early step in the research journey. One of the many steps, okay? Okay, and then people nowadays get confused between methodology and method. This ECO 701 module, the 13-week lectures in the first semester. Remember, in the second semester, there won't be any sit-down lectures, but you will rather work with your supervisor. Okay, but let me go back to the first bullet. Research methodology is the manner in which we approach and execute functions of activities. It constitutes general approaches or guidelines. It might sound a bit confusing, so to simplify things, research methodology, represents all the skills you are going to learn in the next 13 weeks, such as reading skills, note-taking skills, writing skills, data analysis skills, referencing skills, whatsoever. Okay, so it stands for your whole research methodology. Okay, but method is only part of your methodology. Method stands for the specific techniques, tools, procedures applied to achieve a given objective. It is part of the methodology. So in other words, methods, strictly speaking, it is part of your chapter 3 of your research essay when you have to explain the data analysis methods that you adopt for your research essay. So for instance, in the method section, you have to say that, for example, I'm going to use the census data to conduct some descriptive statistical analysis on proportion of households with tap water, with electricity in the dwelling, and then I will run OLS regressions. So it stands for methods. Okay, but I repeat one more time: method is only part of your methodology. But nowadays, a lot of people just use the terms methodology and method interchangeably. Okay. Okay, the process of research. Okay, I'm going to give you an example actually. I want to first go through the 5 bullets. Research question. You need to ask a research question or a broad research question. Then you have an objective, and then you make use of a certain methods, and then you want to generate the results. Obviously, it involves mathematical or statistical and econometric techniques, and then you interpret the results. Remember, you just can't present the regressions or the figures or tables without even writing one word to explain or interpret the results. This is why you have to interpret or explain the results clearly before you can draw a conclusion. So I have an example here. Okay, I think I should enlarge the font size a bit. Okay, this is an example. Research question. Maybe I want to know, is CD still a normal good? Do you still remember the meaning of a normal good? It means the higher your income or positive relationship between income and expenditure of a good. Okay, so is CD still a normal good? Meaning if you earn more, you earn high income, you are going to spend more on CD. I doubt CD is still a normal good these days. People might just download MP3 clips. Okay, so this is my research question. So it must end with a question mark. Then the objective in statement. Okay, it has some relationship with your research question. So my research objective is I want to investigate if the relationship between income and CD expenditure is still positive. Then I explain my methods and procedure. I'm going to use the Statistics South Africa Income and Expenditure Survey. It is called IES. Okay, 2020 data to conduct some statistical and econometric analysis to find out the relationship between income and CD expenditure. And then I will produce the results. So in my actual research paper, I would conduct some descriptive statistical analysis. And then let's say I run the regression. Log of CD expenditure is a function of log of income and let's say household size. I just want to simplify the regression. I don't want to scare you off showing too many explanatory variables. And then I interpret the results. Let's say now I found that the slope parameter of the log income variable is negative. So meaning when income increases, CD expenditure decreases. So in other words, CD is nowadays an inferior good. Okay, so upon interpreting my empirical findings, I can draw a conclusion. So it means, let's say musical. Musical, given the fact that CD is nowadays an inferior good, so if musical only relies on CD sales to sustain revenue or try to survive, then I can say musical is going to close within 3 months. So now I think if you go to musical now, I don't think musical only sells CDs, but musical now sell other products such as the hi-fi equipment, Sony PlayStation, the game disc, even the machine, the Sony PlayStation machine, and movie DVDs and so forth. I think even musical also sell some T-shirts or something, or even bags, yeah, for the youngsters. Okay, so this is just an example to explain slide number 11 better. So I can close this file. I can now go back to the slides. Okay, this is quite a nice figure. Slide number 12, self-explanatory. And then the 8-step methodology. Okay, maybe this figure is better. So we are busy with the first step now, getting started. Then you will soon be allocated a supervisor. And then later, I would explain different note-taking skills, reading skill, summary writing skills. Then you understand your research topic better. And then you can write up the research proposal. Okay. And then the resource checklist would be your laptop, let's say eView, starter software. Your brain is your resource, sorry. Your supervisor is one of your resources. And then after developing a nice research proposal, you have to move on to more intensive, more in-depth literature review. Fieldwork, as I say, it is usually not required at honors level. It is too much at honors level. Then in the second half of the year, when there are no longer sit-down lectures, you will work intensively with your supervisor to work intensively on the, let's say, 10,000 word research essay. I shouldn't have told you the word count. I'm going to scare you now. Okay. And then slide number 15, this is also self-explanatory. And then, yeah, slide number 14, another nice, is it number 17? Okay, another nice summary figure. So in the first term, we will focus on research proposal. Okay. Second term, the literature review essay, and then third and fourth term will be the actual research long essay. So in other words, your research proposal from term 1 and your literature review essay from term 2. So literature review is essentially the chapter 2 of your research long essay. So once you develop a nicely done research proposal and literature review essay, you should be very confident to move on to the actual long essay from the start of the third term. Requirements of the long essay thesis, they are actually the requirements at master's and PhD level, but I think these requirements are also valid at honors level. So when you have time, you can go through these bullets. And then I think for the last slide, 20, don't think this is a joke, this is serious suggestion on how to plan your time properly. Because for ECO 701, you need to plan your time very carefully. This is a year module. You have to work hard in bits and pieces. So don't leave the ECO 701 work until the very last second, or I can assure you that you are going to struggle a lot. Okay. And then for the second set of slides, it's actually very self-explanatory. Okay, I don't think I need to go through the slides. I think they are self-explanatory. And then it discusses the roles of the supervisors and your roles as a student. And I think, yeah, this is the slide I want to talk about. Okay, initially you might be Q-deaf, you might be a bit passive, but I hope after, let's say October, or let's say during the third and the fourth term, you will be more proactive, yeah, enthusiastic. You become Q seekers. You will be self-disciplined, self-motivated, and self-directed. And then supervisor will play an important yet less interventionist role. Okay. In other words, I can say you as the student take the lead. And I think that's it from the second set of slides. And then lastly, if you have time, please go through the PDF readings. And then I understand the readings are very long, so maybe you can just focus on the text I highlighted in yellow. Okay, but I would at least encourage you to read the whole readings. Okay.